Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to be taking a look at the G.I. Joe Classified Retro Flint. As you can see, he's already open, so I got this early. Somebody hit me up, asked me if I was interested. There is no card art, so thankfully we don't have to go looking at that awful card art. This kind of leaves me to decide if I'm going to order one, so he'll be on the card art so I can review the card art. But we're going to take a look at this Retro Flint. We're going to see how he stacks up to the O-ring, and during the course of cleaning up that poor little guy, his arm broke. Now, I have gone my entire life and I've never had an arm just snap off like that. And he did while I was softly cleaning him with a toothbrush. Unfortunately, he lost an arm. There's really no way to fix it without just gluing it on. So I guess I'm going to be in the market for a G.I. Joe, a Real American Hero Flint. But we're going to get into this. We're going to take a look at this guy, see how he holds up. I have all of his accessories here. I don't have Retro Flint's shotgun, so I guess it doesn't matter. I do have the backpack, so we can compare. But we're gonna take a look at this, see how he turns out, how he's compared to the real one. From my understanding, is this is coming out of the new plant in Vietnam, and I have a feeling that may be why they said there may be some unexpected delays. If you have a new plant in Vietnam that is making these figures, and all of a sudden here you've shifted over from China, you don't know how long they're going to take to make them. You don't know what the shipping is going to be like, how long it's going to take to get here. Hopefully it's not going to take that long, because again, here is this guy. But again, no card art, thankfully. But let's stop looking at me. Let's look at this. Let's compare him to the O-ring. One arm and all. We can even compare him to the original Classified Flint and see if you guys like this, if you think that it's worth it, see if it's been bumped up, if it's something you like more than the original. But before we do, if you like this type of content, you like G.I. Joe, please take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a G.I. Joe Classified, and every now and then I get one a little early, which is always nice. Alright, so here it is. We're going to take a look at the accessories as we always do. So first off, we'll look at the hands. He does come with 4 hands. I know they've said that these are like a gripping hand or, cupping hand. This is the World Domination hand from Cobra Commander. I really am not a big fan of it. It works for Cobra Commander, but this is not a gripping hand. A matter of fact, when I have someone hold a rifle, just like I have, this Flint right here, I like using the trigger fingers because it actually wraps around the gun. Same with all of these ones, it just looks better. So anyway, we got this hand. We got 2 punching hands. They are supposed to be gloved, so we don't see any fingernails or anything like that. And then we got the pointing hand, which really does work well because he's one of the commanders, so he is ordering people where to go. All right, he comes with a .45 pistol with a small extended magazine, a port for blast effects. It looks decent. We have a few that are, in my opinion, have some better detail to it. You got the trigger up there, trigger guard. All right, so it does look good. I wonder if when the production comes out, maybe it'll look a little bit better. It looks like there's supposed to be some detail there on the grip. But all in all, it's decent. It has a little bit of flexibility, but it's not really warped or soft. Here we have the shotgun. All right. Now, the original shotgun was very similar to this. It just rounded right off, but it was in this green. So this is painted nicely. You get your pump that's painted. There's your port for blast effects. There's your trigger guard, nice handle. It is straight. It does have flexibility to it, so it's not going to, drop and break. You're not going to snap it, but it also isn't warped at all. But for the most part, this is a nice looking shotgun. I think it really fits exactly what Flint came with in the O-ring. He also came with 2 arms. You can see the other arm right here. I'm really sad because that's my original Flint. And he was perfectly fine. He was perfectly fine till then. All right. Here is his beret. I haven't looked to see, but we'll pop off that Flint and we'll take a look at both of these. And they're clearly two different berets, but he does have the exact same insignia on it. This one is a more of a matte black, so it's a little bit shinier. Sorry, this is the matte black. This one goes on this Flint, and I can tell you right now that they're two different sizes because this was really loose. So this one is shiny on it. All right, it hangs over maybe a little bit more. It does have a lot of flexibility to it. I like the fact that you're looking right here, and you can tell that it has its little, I want to say ruffles. I don't know. I can't think right now. It has its folds in it. So it does look really nice just the way that it folds over. Paint looks nice. There's the insignia. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be. And then we have the backpack. And we did ask Lenny about this. These are supposed to be flares. They painted them nicely. And what we have here is his canteen. Couple grenades right there. Obviously these here, the flares. Here we have our belt buckles that's going to hold it together. We have the folds and again the wrinkles. That's what I was looking for. The wrinkles all throughout the side, so it really looks like this is a soft backpack. All right, and then you just have a little bit of detail here. It looks really nice. Would it have been nice to maybe have the grenades painted a little bit? Sure, but again, we did get these painted, so I think that looks good. Got your belt buckle that's going to hold this down. A nice curvature, which is I hope follows the back. We've had some issues with the backpacks not really looking that well. Hopefully this one sets nicely. And then comparing it to the original, you still have your canteen there. You have the same style grenades. You have the flares. You got your buckles right there. All right, and again, you can see the wrinkles right inside it. So you know that this is supposed to be a soft backpack. You got your pouch right underneath there. So again, they followed the classic look really nice, and that is exactly what you're supposed to get from a retro figure. I've talked about this before. You know, if you're going to go retro, you really need to give us what the O-ring looked like. That's the whole purpose of the retro. So here he is. I have not even moved him or anything. So we'll quickly take a look at the articulation. All right, and I did look at the bottom here, and yes, these are made in Vietnam. So these ones are coming out of the new factory. And again, I think that's the whole reason why they said that they're going to be, that there may be a delay. All right, so looking here, his head can look up pretty well. Can't complain there. He can look down. He does have the neck here. So a little bit of extra movement. I still think they probably could have got that to go a little bit better, but that's not that bad. I'm not going to complain too much about that at all. But his head can move side to side, swivel. Now this is the first time I'm moving it, and this is exactly how it came, so I'm assuming the person that sent it to me didn't move him at all. He has a T-pose. There's his bicep swivel, pinless elbows, double pinless elbows. You have your wrists that are going to swivel. Hands are going to move up and down because the trigger fingers. Same here. Plastic feels really, really smooth. So this is the exact same torso as Duke. You really know because of his little insignia right there. It's the exact same. All right. So he does have the belly dancer, as I usually call it. But this is your, it's not the ab crunch. Again, I hate when I totally forget something. Anyway, he has the waist. I'll come back to it when I can think of it. So he can look down that much. He can move up that much. Again, I like the actual ab crunch better than the diaphragm cut. That's what it is. He can turn side to side. All right. Getting down here, there's his Jean-Claude Van Damme. He does have drop down hips. Double pinless knees. I do not know whose legs these are. For the life of me, I cannot figure it out. If you can see them and tell, hey, you know what? Please leave a comment. All right, you have your thigh cut, really smooth. The boot cut, same boots as come with Grunt. You have your ankle rockers, so you shouldn't have any problem standing this guy. Now, I know people are going to start throwing out that, hey, that's so-and-so's, that's so-and-so's. They're going to say that those are beachheads. Well, looking at them, on a lot of them right here, they have like this little notch. These ones do not have it. Plus, these ones have a pouch in the front. And they're textured down here where the knee pads aren't textured. But almost all the pants that I kept looking at, the pockets, the pouches here, were over on the side. These are in the front. All right. So now that we got the articulation out of the way, oh, he also has butterfly, just the exact same as Retro Duke. He still can't cross over. Again, still a big gripe of mine. He can't hold the pistols together, like a pistol, in two hands. And yes, there are ways to do it. I understand that, but not like a crossover. All right. So here is the face that everyone has. I mean, people were so upset with this. I still think this is one of the best head sculpts they did. I guess it was just he looked too old for Flint. So looking here, the eyes look good. I don't see any issues when I'm looking at it. Again, sometimes looking at the camera. Eyebrows look good. Nice face sculpt here. He looks much younger. No scar on him. That was one of the big things they talked about there. He's got the part. You can see the nice shave on the side here. So it does look like he has nice hair. You can see here where they, put the texture into it. So it looks like it's different strands of hair. All right. This here, I know people, these are not Outback. Outback is much bigger. I thought maybe they were Falcons. I'm not sure if they're Falcons because they have this little button right here, and I don't believe Falcons do. The shoulder is the same. All right, he's not very big, which is perfectly fine. The brown here doesn't fully match the glove. Now maybe that's just how this one's gonna be. Maybe that's the brown. Maybe the part of the glove is supposed to be like that. I don't think so, because the brown doesn't really match the rest of the brown on it. So maybe this is just a pre-production. There he has the watch that I know if we pop this off. Well, actually, it's the end of the glove. It's actually molded in there. So this is a little bit different than I think some of the other ones. I will say this, and this didn't bother me like it bothered other people. The elbow seems to be the exact same color. People had a huge problem on Outback that the elbow was slightly different color. Didn't really bother me, but this looks to be the same color. Here he has that same insignia that Duke has. Doesn't look like he has an undershirt underneath it. He's got the little red up here. All right, so there that kind of buttons over. Couple little pouches on the shirt, buttons there. There we have the bullet belt. Again, they tried to do it on that, but it bothered some people. That's more like a plate carrier. This is a load-bearing system. He's got the shotgun shells going through, painted nicely over here. Then it's black over there. You got the straps up here to give a little bit of texture, so it's not going to completely dig into his shoulders. And then you can kind of see how it just snaps there. There we have the nice belt buckle with an eagle on it. And then you got the star right there. It looks like he has maybe a few more bullets on there. Got a pouch right over here. Drop down holster, so we don't have to worry about it hanging down, which I have no problem with. It does kind of get in the way of some things, but it's a soft enough plastic that we don't have to worry about it breaking. Couple little pockets on the back, and again, you can see all this texture. I think the camouflage looks pretty good on this. All right. The texture, I'm still not sure exactly why they do this texture, but it doesn't really bother me. And as I mentioned earlier, he has his pockets in the front, which seems kind of weird. Pockets are usually on the side. As we look at the boots here, Got a little bit of paint for this clasp here to tighten it up. Shoelaces going all the way down. Nice stitching on it. It almost looks like this could be a dress, well, kind of a dress shoe. Kind of like those workman dress shoes I know I used to wear for work. So, all right. So, quickly, we will compare him to One-Armed Willie here. I know, he's Flint, and his One-Eyed Willie. So let's throw his beret on him, which does stay on nicely. And then we can compare these two. And it looks like they have the exact same insignia. Maybe. At least it's in the same same design. Eyebrows, you know, again, he has more of a, seems to have more black hair than what this, you know, what the retro one comes with. Looking here, we got the shotgun shells. They go all the way down here. I think he has an insignia right there, but it is not painted. All right, so you got the shotgun shells on the load bearing. He has the exact same type of belt here, and it also has bullets on it. I know that arm's gonna break. Just know it's going to. So right here, we actually had paint on the original one. The belt buckle, it does look like it. I don't think it has a star on it like that. Nor do I think it has an eagle. But you got little pouches on it. You have the camouflage, it looks good. He has pouches in the front. So the original O-ring one does have pouches in the front. So that's a nice way to look at it. That they recreated that. We got the holster right there on the side. Going all the way down to the boot. And you can see they painted them very similar, other than giving this little black buckle there. And on the front is the same thing. The shoelaces and everything are painted right up there. I like that they went with a gold buckle rather than just using the green. Again, not everything has to be the exact same, but it is nice that they are trying their best there. And then you have the Y strap in the back, pockets and everything. Now comparing them to this one here, I know that people really have an issue with. I have no issues with this other than I really don't care for the shotgun. Now I have an M16 from Mark II Toys on them because I think it just works pretty well with them. But looking at this guy, and here's what people are going to start to say. I like the original Flint head sculpt better, even though everyone was saying how much they hate it. This is the same thing that happened with Retro Duke. Everyone's like, oh, the Retro Duke is so much better, although we heard how it's not. And same with Retro Scarlet. So anyway, we can kind of look at this guy. He still has the bullet belts. This is more of a plate carrier. This is a load-bearing system. They still have the pouches. You know, they put the crappy pistol on the side here, but didn't do the drop down, so it's not actually supported there, so it can kind of flow. They tried to do the same thing with the belt, where they gave them two different belts here. The camouflage pants, again, those really awful shin pads that just get in the way. I don't care that they did the shin guards; they're just in the way. Same with the gloves. They're more brown. I think they work, and he still has a watch right there. I guess I should grab our arm, and as you can see, he has a watch on the original arm. So I kind of forgot to point that out because it's not on my Flint anymore. All right. So that is the difference between the two of these. I have no problem with this guy. I have no problem with this guy. And this is, to me, what a retro figure should look like. So now we'll kind of arm him up. So take the backpack. Fits on there pretty well. Maybe that peg maybe should have been maybe a little bit longer, but hopefully it stays on without a problem. Got the pistol that we're just going to slide right down there. It stays in. So, well, you know what? It is actually pretty loose. So be careful with that, at least this one. And this is a pretty thick holster right here. That holster is actually pretty thick, but this is, I mean, it stays in there well enough, but this is something that will pop out, it seems, fairly easily. All right. Then we got our shotgun. I'm going to throw right on here. That looks pretty good. And And what I always do is I pry the hand open. And these hands are soft. I was actually messing with a few of them, and like the His Tactician, when I was doing the well, actually when I was resetting up my stuff here after I did my recent ratings of the last 20, 81 through 100. Their hands are really, really tight. These ones are nice and soft, and I actually think that's pretty damn good there. All right, so no problem really oops. I'm not sure if this is going to be an easier... Like, I think this beret fits on really well. This sticks on for the most part. Stalker's is actually really bad. He tends to fall off pretty easily. So no issue standing him there. Can we get him on one foot? Maybe shooting up in the air at a, let's say, Cobra Claw. No problem getting him in 1 foot. How easily do the hands come off? We'll put a pointing finger on him. Pops off really nice and easily. This here is part of the forearm, so you're not going to have to worry about losing the little cuff on the glove. And here we have him pointing. Now I wish he was pointing with maybe the other hand, because he's a righty. But hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and we'll make it so he's, I'm going to try and say ambidextrous. My daughter's left-handed. She's learned to do a lot of things right-handed. Matter of fact, when we throw the football, I have to tell her to throw it with the other hand because it looks really weird when she throws it left because she doesn't do a good job. Really weird. Anyway, there you go. That is your retro Flint. No card art, which is pretty good. The figure does feel really nice. The plastic is pretty good. Nothing seems to be out of place. No warpages. I know we had a lot of issues in the past. But the thighs seem solid. Knees seem solid. Same with the hands and everything. It looks good. So maybe this, if they've shifted all this stuff to Vietnam, maybe this will be a little bit easier for us to get it. It seems like maybe we won't have too many issues. So there you go. That is Retro Flint. All right, so there you go. That is the Retro Flint. Again, no card art, thankfully, because that stuff's really bad. But is this something that you feel like you need to have? I think they do a really good job with this, and this is what I've been saying. When you're going to do a retro carded figure, I understand there's budgetary reasons why they may come with certain weapons, but when I look at like the retro Snow Serpent, he didn't come with the proper weapons, and really you needed a gray AK-47. And I know people say, well, what's the big deal? Well, you're selling it on a retro card. I wouldn't buy a retro carded Han Solo from Star Wars and then they give him the wrong pistol, right? Because it's retro carded. It's supposed to be like the original figure. So I kind of expect the same thing. And if that means you got to take a little bit of money from something else that maybe we don't get till the following year, that's fine. I think you need to do the retro card properly. And the art was not properly done. Just gonna say it. But anyway, there you go. Tell me if you're gonna be waiting for this guy, if you're excited for it. I know he's not supposed to come out till, I want to say September or October, so there's a long wait, but I feel like everything, we're gonna get him a little early. But hey, you know what? I was able to get this early. Again, thank you to the person that hit me up on this and wanted to let me get this out real early. I appreciate it, but I am going to get out of here. You guys know what to do from this point on. You stayed this long, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a G.I. Joe classified figure. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out of here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave up here. Up here is going to be the review of the last G.I. Joe that I did, which I want to say is heavy duty. And down here will be a playlist of now every single G.I. Joe classified figure. Take care.